Hi there and welcome back to my little Draw With Me channel. Today I am going to be doing a palette challenge spread, which means I'm going to be finishing off this spread right here. And it is exactly why Spidey over here is holding a little tomato, because it's on theme for the spread we're doing today. I think I'm going to continue to do that because I think it's really cute. I think it's going to be really funny if he's holding something that's kind of on theme or on the color theme. So that's the reason that's there. So just to introduce the palette challenge that I'm doing, I'm actually going to change this number because it was incorrect. These are all the colors I'm going to be using. I have them all right here. So if you want to try this palette challenge yourself, you have all the information you need to try. The way I do my own palette challenges, because this isn't like a specific try this, I curate a palette for myself before looking into any references or coming up with any ideas of things I want to draw. Just colors I think look really nice and cohesive together. And then I think about all the things I could draw with that, and I think it leads to this kind of wacky, like, none of these things you would think necessarily go together, but they all look nice together. And also challenge yourself to use certain colors that might, again, not actually exist or be there. If you watched my first video, you know why that's relevant to my style. So that's what we're gonna do, and I think we're gonna get started now. Alright, so while I'm just coloring in, I would like to talk quickly about references, because I do really try to use references that are of real life objects and not somebody else's artwork. Obviously that's not the case with this heart, because there's not going to be any organs on Pinterest, at least I hope not. So this is someone's beautiful work, and as you can see, I always add a little like slow-mo at the beginning of my videos where you could see it how I see it on Pinterest with the person who posted, so that if you like it, you could go find it yourself as a reference, or, you know, give that person a like. The reason I can't link them in my descriptions yet is because I haven't unlocked that feature with YouTube. Like, you have to be posting for a little while, and it's like something about YouTube history and stuff where you eventually get to unlock the feature where you could put external links in your descriptions. So that's why I haven't done that yet, but you could go back to the beginning of the video if you're curious about getting this reference for yourself. I did want to chat a little bit again in this video, and I know last time I wasn't very coherent, and I also was sort of rambly and saying a lot of filler words. That's because I didn't have a script. This time I have a bit of a script. I have an idea of what I want to talk about. And that thing I wanted to talk about is imposter syndrome. So that feeling of like when you don't feel deserving of the opportunities that you're getting because you're kind of like, why me? Yeah, I think I had a lot of that going into the university I'm at now, especially because I almost lost my offer in high school. I just had a lot of health issues go on and happen. And then I got concussed while I was at work during exams, like the exam season. And so pretty much failed most of my senior year exams because I didn't know I was concussed, so I went in anyways. Don't do that. It's really not good for your brain. So yes, after getting that concussion diagnosis, I was able to get those exams fully exempt. However, and again, this all to say that when I was able to go off to university, I felt like I definitely did not deserve to be there. And I was questioning my knowledge. I was questioning whether I'd be able to do the degree that I was going into. Because had I not had the exams exempt, I would have lost my university offer because I had to maintain a certain grade average. And obviously concussions affect your memory. I wasn't very good in terms of my grades to begin with because my health issues were keeping me out of school most of the time. So definitely did not feel great going into my first year. However, now, because when I trusted myself to try and worked really hard, I have grades that are competitive with med school, or competitive for med school, I should say. And that's not supposed to be braggy. That's just supposed to be like, you know, when you're in those moments of I feel like the underdog and I feel like I don't deserve to be here, just trust in yourself that you're gonna make it work no matter what. Because you've done hard things in your life. I'm sure we all have. And thinking back to those times, maybe you didn't want to go through it, obviously. Or maybe it was something that you really hunkered down to get done and ended up being really difficult, but you did it anyways. Just thinking back to those times and knowing that, like, you can definitely produce what you want. You can be or get to a place where you want to be. And it's kind of irrelevant where other people are at in that journey. So even if you fail at the first try, like I did, like the first assignment I ever handed in for university, I failed. So if like your first attempt at a new job doesn't go well, or you know, whether any stage of your life, right? It is what it is, and you could 110% recover. And it does not mean that you're not supposed to be there or that you're not deserving of what's happening in your life. Yeah, that's kind of the chatterbox session I wanted to have today. You guys can watch me draw again without my voice going off. thank you so much for sticking around to watch me draw and ramble. So cool that you guys are watching because this channel is so small still. Really hope to see you guys again. I'm hoping to be posting on Wednesdays and Fridays, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again so much for watching. Bye-bye.